tax cuts, but ABC's Andy Field says they likely would be introduced in the middle of the presidential campaign.
The president's economic advisor, Larry Kudlow, says while a quick payroll tax won't happen, a longer-term cut may.
For the middle class, for blue-collar workers, small businesses, and so forth.
Which is what the president said the last tax cut would do, but many economists say it primarily helped businesses and wealthier Americans. Andy Field, ABC News, Washington.
A key speech on the economy being delivered today by Fed Chair Jerome Powell. He has come under criticism from the president lately for not cutting interest rates more. Nearly 4,000 people have been evacuated in Northern California ahead of a wildfire. The so-called mountain fire in Bella Vista has burned through more than 600 acres so far. A light rail train jumped the tracks in Sacramento, California. Fire Captain Keith Wade.
No one had any life-threatening injuries, and there were no deaths associated with this incident.
There were more than 24 people hurt. There's a new push to stop robocalls from attorneys general from every state and major phone companies.
Integrating the technology into their infrastructure will automatically scan out certain of these unwanted illegal calls.
Josh Stein, North Carolina's attorney general. Americans get nearly 5 billion robocalls per year. You're listening to ABC News.
Here's a special message for those of you who owe the IRS at least $10,000 or more in back taxes. The IRS has special programs in place that could eliminate or reduce your tax debt by thousands of dollars. With a call to National Tax Helpline, you can stop the wage garnishments, levies, and tax liens now. Once you've qualified and enrolled, the IRS will stop all the collection activities against you. These unique programs have been allocated to help the economy and significantly reduce or eliminate your tax burden. The IRS is currently accepting reduced settlements and other favorable programs. You may qualify for substantial savings, so get the help you need. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more, call now for free information and to see if you qualify. Take down the number now for the Tax Helpline, 800-805-1055. That's 800-805-1055 for free information. 800-805-1055. That's 800-805-1055.
A group put together after the deadly shootings in El Paso, Texas, has come together.
The Texas Safety Commission comprises lawmakers, law enforcers, and community leaders from El Paso. And while the Walmart massacre on August 3rd was an act of gun violence,
having a gun is not against the law.
Governor Greg Abbott says red flags about the suspect were flying.
There was a concerned mother who raised issues to law enforcement.
He says the state may move to more easily remove firearms from people considered at risk for committing violent acts. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
With studies showing early childhood education having a huge impact on how kids do later in life, ABC's Daria Albinger's been taking a look at which states rank the best.
With the beginning of another school year, Wallet Hub ranked the best early education systems by state. Here are the top ones.
Arkansas at number 5, then Vermont, Maryland, the District of Columbia, and Nebraska overall was number 1.
Analyst Jill Gonzalez.
Students enrolled in full-day pre-K programs do better on math and literacy tests than their peers who attend partial-day preschool. Those that attended pre-K programs have been shown to have less risk of future crime.
14 states have universal pre-K in their public schools. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
The Rolling Stones now have a stone named for them on Mars. NASA has officially named a small stone the Rolling Stones Rock. This is ABC News.
Ready to create your own income with your own home-based business where there's no such thing as getting laid off? If a billionaire entrepreneur spent 5 years and $20 million searching for the next big trend, wouldn't you want to know what he found? If you're serious about making money from home without having to leave home, then write this down. www.goherenext.com. You decide your income. Get the facts now. GoHereNext.com.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Grab the umbrellas and just hang on to them as we head into the weekend. We'll have partly cloudy skies today. Showers and thunderstorms developing this afternoon and this evening. Some of them could be severe. The biggest threat will be some damaging winds. Highs today in the mid to upper 80s. Scattered showers and storms likely to continue overnight tonight with lows in the upper 60s. And showers on and off on Saturday. And it's cooler with high temperatures staying in the low to mid 70s. I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Thanks very much, Amy. We are cloudy. We still cloudy this morning. We may get a little sun peeking out sometime through the day, but most of the day is going to be partly cloudy with numerous thunderstorms developing probably this afternoon. Highs around 87, heat index around 92. That chance of precip about 70%, and the precipitation amounts up to 1/4 of an inch possible. Now, we had a couple of storms yesterday pass through here about, I don't know, what was it, 2:30, 3 o'clock or so. Thunderstorm came through, heavy rain, it went away. And last night or this morning early around 1:30, 2 o'clock, we had another storm roll through around my house. A lot of thunder, a whole lot of rain, and some lightning. And it lasted, about 30, 45 minutes or so. I understand there may be some power outages around the county this morning. I'm not sure exactly where all those are. But we had some rain, and may get some more of that same kind of thing. But it's going to be off and on, looks like. Scattered showers tonight and then scattered showers tomorrow. Highs around 78 with a 40% chance of precip tomorrow and 50% tomorrow night, 50% on Sunday. And again, right now it's cloudy and 69 degrees. It's 6 minutes after 7. Now I have these death announcements this morning. Andy Roland Hudlow, 87, died Sunday, August the 11th. Memorial services will be held 2 p.m. Saturday, August 24th at Smith Grove Baptist Church in Forest City for Andy Roland Hudlow. James Arnold Jim Robbins of Forest City died August 20th at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. The funeral service will be held at 1 o'clock in the afternoon Saturday, August 24th in the First Baptist Church with Reverend Dr. Garen Hill officiating. Burial will follow in the Sulphur Springs Baptist Church Cemetery. The family will receive friends from 5 until 7 o'clock Friday evening at the Paget and King Mortuary. The Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory is serving the family of Jim Robbins of Forest City. This is the Jim Robbins of Robbins Oil Company. Billy Eugene Turner, age 72, of Spindale, died Saturday at Charles George VA Medical Center in Asheville. A graveside service will be held 11 o'clock today at Cool Springs Cemetery with military honors accorded by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. The Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements, and online guest registry available at PagetKing.com for Billy Eugene Turner. Mr. Marshall Turner, 78, of Forest City, died Tuesday at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. The funeral service will be conducted at 1 o'clock Monday, August 26th at Glenwood Baptist Church. Mike Geddes and Sam Henderson will officiate. Burial will follow in the church cemetery with military rites rendered by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. Visitation is planned for 4 o'clock until 7 o'clock Sunday at Washburn and Dorsey Funeral Home. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service, serving the family of Mr. Marshall Turner. Navy Specialist Austin Dakota Cody Beatty, 22, of Sunshine, died Thursday in San Diego, California. The funeral will be conducted at 2 o'clock Wednesday, August 28th at New Home United Methodist Church, Moriah School Road in Kaiser. The Reverend Eddie Paget and Reverend Robert Bradley will officiate. Burial will follow in the Mount Harmony Baptist Church Cemetery with military rites rendered by the U.S. Navy. The visitation will be from 4:30 until 7:30 Tuesday at Washburn and Dorsey Funeral Home. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral Home, serving the family of Navy Specialist Austin Dakota Cody Beatty. Henry Jenkins, Jr., age 76, of Mooresboro, died Wednesday at Henderson Care in Forest City. The funeral service will be conducted at 3 o'clock Saturday, August 24th at Gooch Creek Baptist Church with Reverend Glenn Walker and Reverend Chuck Poole officiating. Burial will follow in the church cemetery. Family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the church. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements for Henry Jenkins, Jr. Dr. Edward Ernest Hetrick, age 77, passed away Wednesday, August 14th at Rutherford Regional Medical Center. A memorial service is scheduled for today at 11 a.m. at Crow's Funeral Chapel. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Dr. Dietrich. Dorothy Baynard Dot Gross, age 95, of Forest City, died Friday, August 9th. The memorial service will be held Sunday at 2 p.m. in the First Presbyterian Church of Forest City. Visitation will follow in the church fellowship hall.
Should have lit up the skies over every sanctuary city in America. Instead, they are furious. They're threatening to go to court over these new rules because one of their biggest immigration scams is about to be blown up. Illegal immigrants have gamed the system for years with Democrats' help. Thousands of families flooded the borders knowing that if they overwhelmed our agencies, their kids would be released after 20 days. In many cases, the parents were also released and then promptly disappeared into the shadows. The game was called catch and release. Well, now the game might be over and they can't say Trump is separating families, which is what they really want to be able to say. So they're mad as hell that the situation is going to be better for the kids. Hey, folks, if you can't find the time to do all those small jobs around your home or office, do what I do. Hire it done. I know a company that can help. It's called Tackle. It's spelled T-A-K-L. It's an app that you can download on your phone, and it connects you with people who can help you with jobs around your home or office. Now, here's how it works. You download the Tackle app on your phone, and you pick a provider for the work that you need done. Tackle has thousands of providers that have been background checked. Tackle will provide affordable upfront pricing, and all jobs are backed by the Tackle guarantee. And if you need additional help in the future, like yard work, cleaning a pool, mounting a TV, cleaning gutters, packing furniture, whatever, find it on the Tackle app. It's easy. Download the Tackle app now. Again, it's spelled T-A-K-L on your phone, and use the promo code RUSH to get 15% off your first project. Download the Tackle app at the Apple Store. Be like me, folks. Hire this stuff done.
This is Jones Angel, voice of the Tar Heels. And no doubt, this is WCAB, the most sports for the foothills.
We've always had villains to face.
Bad guys to take down. But you
are the most horrible of all.
Just 'cause you're tough, it doesn't mean we can't beat you.
We're here because we've had enough of you.
We all have the power to do something.
To change something.
To stand up to cancer.
Every single one of us is mortal.
Even me.
Even me.
One person is not a team.
But when we join together,
you don't stand a chance. But inside, we are all heroes.
We are resilient.
We are powerful.
And we will win.
Marvel Studios' Avengers Endgame, MasterCard, and Stand Up to Cancer are joining together today to help take down one of the biggest villains of all, cancer. Join us now at standuptocancer.org/MasterCard.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Clay Allison was a hard-drinking prankster of the type who becomes a legend in his own time. During his lifetime, Allison only killed 4 people, but the stories about him that didn't involve killing are as entertaining as those that did. There's the story of Clay Allison looking up gunman Mace Bowman with the object of killing him. But Bowman was a congenial person, and the 2 men ended up getting drunk together. Still curious about who was the fastest, they decided to test each other's speed with some fast draws. Allison found that Bowman was faster than he was. So Allison suggested they strip to underwear and shoot at each other's bare feet to see who could move faster. They were either poor shots or fleet of feet because a short time later, the 2 men, out of breath, bellied up to the bar for another drink. Then there was the time on August 15, 1874, when Allison arrived in Cheyenne, Wyoming with a raging toothache. Now, Cheyenne had 2 dentists, so Allison chose the closest one and climbed in his chair. Unfortunately, he drilled the wrong tooth. When the dentist announced his mistake, Allison angrily jumped out of the chair and went over to the other dentist's office. The other dentist took care of the problem. With his pain gone, Allison returned to the first dentist and pinned the dentist in his chair, grabbing the dentist's forceps and proceeding to pull, according to different stories, 1, 3, or all of the dentist's teeth. I can assure you that dentist never drilled the wrong tooth again. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
16 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Friday morning. Thank goodness it's finally Friday Friends morning. And we're going to the phones now to get our reports from around the county. And Deputy Mitchell is on the phone from the Sheriff's Department to give us that update. Good morning. How are you doing? Good morning. How are you doing today? Good morning. How are you doing today?
Doing well, so.
Good. Tell us what's on the report.
All right. In the past 24 hours, sheriff's officers responded to 171 calls, processed 7 arrests in the jail, and currently have 172 incarcerated at the county jail. As far as arrest reports go, Jeremy Rippey of Forest City was arrested for possession of burglary tools, breaking and entering, and larceny after breaking and entering. Ronald Cogdell of Ellenboro was arrested for failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Incident reports, we have Jeff Dale of Rutherford reported a felony larceny. Bobby Burgess of Ellenboro reported a felony larceny. Tommy Richards of Ellenboro reported a misdemeanor larceny. Mitch McWellen of Lake Lure reported a misdemeanor larceny. Joshua Williams of Ellenboro reported a larceny of motor vehicle, and that motor vehicle was recovered last night by county deputies. Amanda Willis of Mooresboro reported a misdemeanor larceny. Sarah Leadsom of Mooresboro reported a misdemeanor breaking and entering. Angela Merck of Forest City reported identity theft and obtaining property by false pretense. And Justin Smith of Mooresboro reported an assault inflicting serious injury. That's all I've got for this morning.
Deputy Mitchell, I do appreciate the report, and you be safe out there this weekend.
Thank you, sir.
See you now. Coming up this morning, a little after 8 o'clock, Mr. Friday Night will be with us on the radio to give us an update on tonight's high school football game. Kicks off the season tonight and the rest of the season. Give his overview of what's happening this year, what it looks like is happening this year in high school football action. We'll have that report for Mr. Friday Night a little after 8 o'clock this morning.
When you call a pest control company, you want to make sure they have honest and dependable experience. Hutchins Pest Control has all those qualities and more. 45 years experience in pest control service, now including moisture control, waterproofing, mold remediation, dehumidification, and more. Get rid of mice, rats, wildlife, fire ants, bed bugs, and termites. Call today for residential and commercial service. 287-5171. Voted best of best for 9 years. That's Hutchins Pest Control.
Here's Amber now with the 911 Communications Center report. Amber, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your report today?
In the past 24 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 498 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 43 calls for EMS and 42 for rescue. There were 171 calls for the Sheriff's Office, 91 for Forest City, 7 for Lake Lure, 39 for Rutherford, and 48 for Spindale. For fire calls, Bills Creek responded to a motor vehicle accident, and Hudlow responded to a motor vehicle accident. Lake Lure responded to a residential fire alarm. Rutherford responded to a motor vehicle accident, and Shingle Hollow responded to a motor vehicle accident. And that's all we have.
And are you aware of any power outages overnight from the storm last night?
Earlier, a news company called in and said there were several people without power, but as far as us being personally aware, I'm not sure. I know some were in the Lake Lure area.
Okay.
But
All right.
That's just what we've heard.
Good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You have a great weekend.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
20 minutes after 7 o'clock, it is more important anymore to be able to hear the conversation because, and it's more and more reason to turn those things down with some of the things we're hearing anymore. But if you want good hearing, you want to improve your hearing, it's got to that point. It could be just a wax buildup, but it's time to find out what that is. If it's more than that, then Miracle Ear is so close by. Lisa Terry at Miracle Ear can give you some sound facts about that company. Millions of satisfied Miracle Ear customers worldwide, and there's no better respected or well-known brand in hearing aids than Miracle Ear. They got an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and there's so many features you will appreciate about Miracle Ear. It'd be smart just to go by, make it a point, go by, have the free hearing test, and ask all the questions you want to ask about Miracle Ear. I think you too will be impressed, as millions have been worldwide. Forest City office is at 1512 West Main Street, Suite 102, right next to Southern Carpet. The phone number is 828-368-4126. Miracle Ear. Here's Ruby Taylor with the Danieltown SDO report. Ruby, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Good. What's on your report?
The fire department didn't have any calls, and on my birthday calendar today I have Bob Armstrong, Mike Summers, Diane Cole, and Hazel Harris having birthday today, and hope they have a nice day. Tomorrow, Gene Gordon, Judy Patterson, Cody Price, Candace McDaniel, and Molly Rudolph having birthdays. And Mr. and Miss Chris Husky is having an anniversary tomorrow. Hope all these people have a nice day. Then Sunday, Chandler Kessler, and he's having a birthday, and Mr. and Ms. Tim Doolett, and Mr. and Ms. Roger Reagan Clark is having an anniversary, and hope these two people have a happy day. And the signs are in arms today, tomorrow, and going to the breast on Sunday. And Jim, that's all I've got.
All right, Ruby, thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend.
You too.
All right, bye.
Bye.
You know, when you need a plumber, you want someone with a reputation of getting right out to you and getting the job done for you the right way. That'll be Olmsted Plumbing. Since 1973, the Olmsted family has been serving homeowners and builders with the best of service. From unclogging a drain to replacing fixtures and appliances to remodeling jobs, their top quality work, fair prices, and punctual service has made them the area's leading plumbing firm. Eric and Chad are continuing that family tradition, and they'd like to serve you. Call 245-7302. Experience plus equipment equals excellence. Olmsted Plumbing at 245-7302. At McCurry Deck Motors, you can browse a selection of vehicles that includes all of the top models in Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC lineups. The McCurry Deck Motors lineup of vehicles checks all the boxes, ensuring that they will have the perfect vehicle for any car shopper that visits their lot. Come visit and see what's in store for you and your family with the McCurry Deck quality reputation of fair deals and customer service. Try the Chevy. Find new roads with Chevy. At McCurry Deck Motors, we're the home of Chevy, Buick, and GMC. 1740 U.S. Highway 74A, Forest City. All four of our high schools are in action tonight with high school football. McDowell is at RS Central, Chase at Bessemer City, East at West Henderson, and Charlotte Commonwealth plays at Thomas Jefferson. And our broadcast game of the week is McDowell at RS Central. We'll have that game tonight, 6:45 countdown to kickoff. Here's Homer now. He's up at Rumbling Ball with our report. We've changed the name from Rumbling Ball to Bear Mountain.
All right, hold on.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Pretty good. Been a little busy this morning. We didn't have any power.
Okay. I heard some power out around the county. Is it
We're getting it. It's just been restored, so things should be getting sort of back to normal. Like I said, power's just been restored maybe 10 minutes ago.
Was it just there in the village, or is it all over Lake Lure area? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I think it's widespread. We had like a thunderstorm last night, a lot of rain, which same as yesterday. We had it again last night, but I didn't know it had affected this area. But we're experiencing power outage, or were. Like I said, a lot of people's been affected. A lot of people's been calling. Still raining as we speak.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, kind of a light drizzle up here. Like I said, we're getting pretty much back to normal. Things are starting to calm down a little bit. Like I said, it's been been pretty busy here this morning.
You guys have had a lot of rain up there the past few days.
We certainly have. I'm trying to think, we got several things going on here. We got a Subaru car show tomorrow. We're supposed to be here at Rumbling Ball, some kind of first annual Subaru car show. We got a wedding tomorrow, 12 o'clock. It's going to be a busy day tomorrow. On my way to work this morning, coming down the hill, there's a big bear across the road right in front of me. It's something I don't normally see, but anything's expected. Bear across the road, coming down the hill just before you get to security. Another one of our other security guards just walked down to the trash dumpster. It didn't take him long to come back. There is a bear in our dumpster right now.
Oh, boy.
Inside the dumpster.
Inside the dumpster. Well, be a good time
to... As we speak, the grounds guys are here. They took off, went down there, so told them to be careful. Like I said, it's scattered trash. It is in the dumpster as we speak, so bears are getting to be pretty popular around here.
Yeah, I think you missed my opening comment. I told Steve that we're going to change the name from Rumbling Ball to Bear Ball Mountain.
That could be a true statement, like I said. Bear this morning, one's in the trash can, and the day's just getting started, so yeah.
They're mostly prevalent in the morning hour, or do you see them throughout the rest of the day?
Yeah, in the morning, at night, but they are being a little bit more widespread during the day, so it's no certain time. Yeah, bears are going to come out when they're ready, but like I said, it's been a pretty busy week for bears, and it's already starting out this morning.
Okay, well, be careful up there, Homer.
Okay, and also let me go ahead and announce we're having a White House Community Breakfast Buffet. That's tomorrow, 7 o'clock. I'll be announcing again in the morning. White House Community Center, Saturday, August 24th at 7 a.m. if you want a good breakfast.
That's always a good one.
That's true.
See you, Homer. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
All right, bye-bye. 27 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock, and we'll move on now and get away from the Bears this morning. We'll be back with the next phone call over to Hudlow Fire District after we put down some carpet.
Southern Carpet is the showplace for your floor covering needs. For example, life-proof luxury vinyl plank and tile, waterproof, pet, and kid-friendly. Southern Carpet has all grades of carpet in stock for your home or apartment. Names like Shaw, Dreamweaver, Mohawk, Tarkett, IBC, and so much more. It's a showplace of quality carpet and floor covering. For the best selection in town, depend on Southern Carpet and get great installation prices. Come see Clayton or Jeff for your flooring needs. They'll floor you. 1512 West Main Street in Forest City and on the web at southerncarpet.net.
Here now is Bob Hodge. He's overlooking things at the Hudlow Fire District for us. Bob, good Friday morning to you.
Well, good Friday morning to you.
I tell you, it's a good one.
Yeah, well, we got a thunder shower or two roll through during the night, but getting a little sprinkle rain here earlier this morning there, so. But look like it ain't going to be too bad a day today. And looking forward to a little cooler weather anyway.
That'll be nice.
Yeah. And Jim, up here with the fire department, been quiet overnight. Hadn't had any fire call. And birthdays for days, oldest Petty and Rocky McMillan. And for Saturday, Tracy Hall. And then for Sunday, Jeff Crawford and Nick Good. And Jim, that's about it. Things are running along good up here so far this morning. And Jim, I hope you have a good weekend.
Bob, thank you very much. Look out for things for us, and we'll be back in touch.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. 7:29.
With over 60 years of combined experience in the construction field, Darren Hill and Tommy Harris at Henson Building Materials can help you with all your construction projects. Whether remodeling, building a new home, or just building a new deck, we at Henson Building Materials have a long history of providing supplies and services for our community. Let us help you with your project. If you haven't visited Henson Building Materials, you'll be surprised with the quality selection and competitive prices in our new showroom. Remember, we're more than just a lumber yard.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush, brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Cherry Mountain Fire District is our next stop this morning as we make our rounds, and Sue Price is on the phone right now to give us an update. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning, Jim.
How are things over in your neighborhood? Rainy or not?
Well, we had rain during the night. We had some yesterday evening and thunder clouds, loud thunder.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were needing some rain. It had kind of dodged around us all week, but we were glad to get a little bit. And it's been looking pretty cloudy, but the sun's popping out now. So I started out at 70 degrees. It's a nice morning out there. Got absolutely no birthdays or anniversaries on either one of my calendars. So not too many celebrating that I know of, but if we have anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary, we'll have a real good day on their special day. In my announcements, the chopped sirloin steak dinner coming up at Hopewell Hollis Clubhouse. That'll be tomorrow night. It starts at 4, goes to 8 p.m. Adults are $10, 6 to 12, $5, and under 6 is free. And that's sponsored by the Hopewell Hollis Ruitans. They always have a really good supper. Celebrating 20 years in ministry, Fairview Mountain Ministries Incorporated. You're invited to join us in celebration and Thanksgiving for 20 years in the ministry on August 24th at Fairview Baptist Church in Golden Valley. The program will begin at 4 p.m. in the sanctuary, followed by refreshments in the fellowship hall. And the church is located at 4350 North Carolina Highway 226 in Bostic. You can contact Ron with any questions at 828-245-0410. And then Bostic Missionary Methodist Church is going to be having Living by Faith Sunday the 25th at 6 p.m. So good singing coming up out there at Bostic. And so far, that's the only announcements I have. It's just quiet and calm over here right now. I'm looking for a good day and a good weekend, and I hope you and Faye will have one.
So has Ron been over that ministry for 20 years himself?
No, he's been there, I don't know exactly how many years, but let's see, what was his name? John Glenn, maybe?
Okay.
Anyway, he hadn't been there the whole time, but he's been there a good long while.
He enjoys his work.
He does. He loves it.
You have a good weekend, Sue.
You too, Jim.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Save-A-Lot Grocery, White Oak Plaza, Spindale has hundreds of super low prices on most of your favorite name brand items. They have 500 plus prices lowered across the entire store. Stock up on fresh meats, produce, frozen foods, snack foods, and your favorite beverages and pastries. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 9, Sunday, 10 to 8. Save-A-Lot Grocery, White Oak Plaza, Spindale.
If you haven't been to the Recliner Center lately, well, let me tell you, there's a lot of changes going on and a big secret, but that's going to be revealed later. But for now, I can reveal all the great merchandise that you'll find at the Recliner Center. You know, it's back to school time. That means a lot of time on the road, football, dance, basketball, and you still got a lot of yard work still yet to do, and your back is going to need all the help it can get. How about a new mattress from the Recliner Center? The kids are going to be bringing friends over. How about a redo in the family room? a new couch, love seat, rocker recliner, recliners from small to big boy sizes. Do you or a loved one have difficulty standing? Well, the Recliner Center has a great selection of different styles and colors of lift chairs. Some of these chairs allow you to be able to get your feet above your head, offering comfort, style, security, and standing, and locally owned and operated. That's the Recliner Center. They're on Coopers Gap Road in Rutherfordton. Don't forget the Recliner Center's new hours, Wednesday through Friday, 9 to 4, Saturdays, 9 to 2.
You know, there's a lot of things I like about the drop-in stores here in our county. One of them, of course, is the fact that it's locally owned and locally operated. I like that fact. We can do business with local folks all over the county. Other things I like about it is they keep great specials going for us throughout the year. Enjoy more summer specials like these. 20-ounce Dasani water, only 99 cents. 28-ounce Powerade, 2 for $2. You can save $1.50 on 2 large Powerades. And that pizza special you've been waiting for is here for a limited time in August. That's that Hunt Brothers Chicken Bacon Ranch Pizza. Get it by the hunk or by the whole pizza. You can get it by the hunka, or the whole pizza. Remember, all Hunt Brothers whole pizzas are EBT eligible, too. And over in Bostic, don't forget to sign up for free Filet Fridays. Every week, the drop-in in Family Mart gives away 2 filet steaks, 2 bacon potatoes, and a bag salad to one lucky customer. Just go by there and ask for details on that. It's quick and easy to sign up. And this month, sausage biscuits, regular $1.99. Now you get 2 of them for $3. Get all this and more at your friendly drop-in stores. Come on, drop in. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I have Brenda Kelly on the phone right now from Union Mills. Am I correct?
You are absolutely correct, so you can go to the front of the class.
Do I get a star in my crown?
Yes, a gold one.
I just need to start working on a crown now. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
Doing well, yeah.
That's good. Did Faye have a good birthday yesterday?
I think so. Yeah, I didn't get to see her until about 9:30 last night.
Oh, bless your heart.
She had a busy schedule, as did I, and so but when I came in, I said, "How was your birthday?" I gave her another gift, and I said, "How was your birthday?" She said, "I've had a good one. People really took good care of me. She had a lot of people call her, and a lot of people heard it on the radio, and they mentioned it to her. So she was a pleased woman."
Well, that's good. Keep her happy.
She has liked it so well, she wants to have a bunch more of them.
Well, don't we all? Well, we hope everybody's having a good day. I've got 66 degrees on the front porch, and we've had 1.5 inches of rain since yesterday morning.
Wow, that's a lot of rain.
Well, we had a bukus of rain yesterday at that storm that went through McDowell County and tore up Jack all up through there, come through here, and then it was raining when I got up at, I don't know, 3:30, 4 o'clock, somewhere along in there. I went out and let Big Dog out a while ago. It was still drizzling rain, so we've had 1.5 inches. But as far as I know, I ain't seen no damage nowhere as far as trees down. But,
Good.
And we still got power, so that's good. I don't have but one birthday. That's Whitney Upton. I don't have any on round here, so we hope Whitney has a great old big day. And then ways of announcement, Sunday, August the 25th at Corinth Baptist Church, Southern Gospel Group. The Ball Brothers will be in concert at 6 p.m. Then we got a country breakfast buffet Saturday, August the 24th, 7 to 10 a.m. This will be at the White House Community Center at 5408 Painters Gap Road, Junior Mills, NC, 28167. Adults, $6. Children, 6 to 12, $3. Children 5 and under free. They've got all kind of good food to eat, and all proceeds go for the upkeep of the building. And other than that, I don't know of anything else going on.
All righty. Well, thank goodness it's finally Friday.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say you might get to rest, but no, you got to sing tomorrow night.
Yeah, and I was going to mention that. We've had several folks call this morning asking about that. That is, sometime when I haven't had my extra shot of caffeine, I might slur my words, but it's Vane, Vane Mountain Baptist. Some folks were saying that they didn't understand the Vane part. So it's Vane Mountain Baptist up on 221 North going toward Marion. And yesterday some folks rode up that way, and they're working on apparently the pipeline or something up there.
Yeah, they're having
the traffic was being stopped up a little bit, but they shouldn't be doing that Saturday night. So it should be clear sailing Saturday night.
Yeah. how do you spell vein? V-E-I-N, V-A-I-N, or?
I think it's V-E-I-N, like blood vein.
That's what I thought, too,
Yeah.
but I wasn't sure. Yeah, somebody called and asked me yesterday, and I said, well, I spell it V-E-I-N.
Yeah. That's. I think. I don't know where you.
Hey, now I get to go to the front of the class. We'll
You
both
do.
be up
Yeah.
there.
We'll put a star by your name.
Okay.
I guess the vein is part of the vein, the mountain vein there that runs through it.
Yeah,
I guess
probably.
that's where.
And there's a road right there, Vein Mountain Road, too, just off of Polished Pass.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking for a big crowd Saturday night.
Hope so.
Well, listen, you have a great Friday. Enjoy yourself and do some productive work around the house, and then find your place to rest.
There you go. You have a good weekend.
I'll see you, Brenda. Bye.
Catch you later.
That's the Cali Report from upstate Union Mills. Now it's 7:40. That means it's 20 minutes till 8.
Nobody gets a better deal than the customers of Sisk Family Ford. They have the proven record of the best deal. It's your place to shop for your truck. Get a good look at the selection of SUVs, Escapes, Edge, and Explorers. Sisk Family Ford can put you in the family car or truck of your choice any day you want to make a change. Try one on for a ride. Make your next deal a Sisk Family Ford deal. Shop local and get your best agreement for the next automobile. Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
More than 1 million Americans have heart attacks each year, and if you or a loved one experiences symptoms of a heart attack, every second matters. Heart attack symptoms include discomfort, heaviness, or pain in the chest, arm, or below the breastbone. You may also experience sweating, nausea, dizziness, weakness, anxiety, or shortness of breath. At the first sign of a heart attack, you should call 911 and be treated immediately at the nearest hospital. The best time to treat a heart attack is within 1 to 2 hours of the first onset of symptoms. That's why the Emergency Department at Rutherford Regional Health System has become a chest pain accredited facility. That means quality care here at home that could save precious seconds when treating the symptoms of heart attack. To learn more about Rutherford Regional and its commitment to save quality care, visit myrutherfordregional.com. All right, it's Ellenboro time, and Luther Gilligan, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. I hope you're having a good day.
I'm having a wonderful day.
Because we're having a great time there. Sitting around drinking coffee, watching people come and go.
Yeah?
But it's quiet there. That's going. I see the fire department there had 2 calls yesterday. Other than that, they've been quiet this morning. And the day's just Friday. Everybody's looking forward to getting the day over. Having a good weekend coming up. And there's this happening this morning. So you have a great day up there, and we'll talk to you Monday.
All right, Luther, enjoy your weekend.
You too. Take
care. Bye. Well, short and sweet from Ellenboro this morning. It's 7:43 and time for birthdays and anniversaries. And we will take your calls now. We've cleared the phone lines for you to 287-3356. Call those in. We'll put you in the drawing for some delicious De La Donuts from Granny B's Bakery. 287-3356. Birthdays and anniversaries coming up next.
Stay prepared for those cookouts with plenty of propane. Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply has refill propane 20-pound tanks, only $10.99. The price on Value Pack 18.8 dog food, $13.99. Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply can beat their prices on fertilizer. Check this out, 17-17-17 fertilizer, just $13.45 for 50 pounds. Check on the farm equipment at special prices and fish mocks, 100 count, $15.99. Plenty of kills all, specially priced. It's all at your friendly Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply, 188 Whiteside Road, Rutherfordton.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286 2304.
When you need daycare services for your adult loved one, Rutherford Life Services is always there for a dependable and loving environment. Rutherford Life offers a place to go during the daytime for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and creative activities. Caregivers can go to work knowing that their loved one is in a safe and reliable place. Rutherford Life is licensed by the North Carolina Division of Aging. Rutherford Life has a full staff of trained professionals who show love and support. Call them today and let them answer any questions you may have concerning adult daycare services. 828-288-1697 or visit the facility at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today while they're fresh. They're good. They're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Birthday. Well, happy birthday to Julie Robbins. She works at H&R Block in Forest City. We wish her happy. Debbie Moore over in Mount Vernon's having a birthday. Addison Ledbetter is 7 in Rutherfordton. Chad Green over in Forest City is having a birthday. And Brian Cox in Rutherfordton has a birthday coming up tomorrow, so we want to wish him a happy birthday today. Also, Whitney Upton is celebrating a birthday today. So happy birthday, everybody. And we'll put all those names that were called in and drawing. Somebody's going to win some donuts here in just a few moments. Shane Donson's also celebrating a birthday. Turns a big 5-0 today. Happy birthday, Shane.
It wasn't too many years ago that Halloween was looked upon as a night of community togetherness, a few practical jokes and enjoyment for the children. But more and more it has become a night when families and communities are seeking to avoid the events connected with this evening. Many have gone beyond the practical joke stage and have torched scores of buildings. The innocence of children has been marred, as parents are cautioned to have their children's candy x-rayed for needles and razor blades. Halloween originally started out as a church celebration called All Hallows Eve. It was an evening established just prior to a medieval England religious holiday called All Saints' Day, in which the church honored the memory of the saints. The current celebration of Halloween has departed from that original intent and has assumed more pagan practices that originated in ancient Europe. People believed that the spirits of the dead would come back to their former dwelling places on the night of October 31 and would do harm to people unless they were appeased in some way. Therefore, the people lit torches and put out food in an attempt to pacify the angry spirits. Current-day Halloween has evolved into fixation with ghosts, witches, and the demonic. Halloween is one of those days that started out well, but has taken on a more twisted and sinister meaning. We would do well to bring it back to its original purpose. This is Bill Hostler with today's key to confident living.
Congratulations to Julie Robbins of Forest City. She works at H&R Block there in Forest City. She's won herself some donuts. So Julie will have that certificate up here. Stop by and pick that up. Now coming up next hour, I'm excited about high school football starting. How about you? Well, Mr. Friday Night will be with us a little after 8 o'clock this morning to sort of set the mood for us with the games coming up and tonight's games and what he thinks about it and the perspective from his vantage point. Mr. Friday Night, been doing it about 26 years, I believe it is now. Ruth starts his 26th year. My goodness, what a professional. What a real radio broadcaster. We'll have him on a little later this morning. So, Ben, be sure to stand by and get your seatbelts ready for another high school football season. And we'll have all of those games rotating, of course, on rotation basis. And we're starting out with McDowell at RS Central, 6:45 countdown to kickoff tonight. And then we'll resume with that schedule. And Mr. Friday Night, Jay Coombs, will tell us all about it. Coming up here in about 20 minutes.
Got a feeling 'cause I'm blue, oh Lord, since my daddy said goodbye. I don't know what I'm gonna do, all I do is sit and cry. Oh Lord, that last long day he said goodbye. Oh Lord, I thought I would die. He'll do ya, he'll do me, he's got that kind of loving. But Lord, I love to hear him when he calls me sweet baby. What a beautiful dream. I had to think it all over. I lost my heart, it seems. I've grown so used to that man somehow. And I'm nobody's sugar baby now, 'cause I'm lonesome. I got the lovesick blues. Now I'm in love with a wonderful guy. That's what's the matter with me. Well, I'm in love with a wonderful guy, but he don't care about me. Well, I tried and I tried to keep him satisfied, but he just wouldn't say. But now that he is leaving, this is all I've got to say. I got a feeling 'cause I'm blue, oh Lord, since my daddy said goodbye. I don't know what I'm gonna do, I lost my heart, it seems. I've grown so used to that man somehow. And I'm nobody's sugar baby now, 'cause I'm lonesome. I got the lovesick blues. I've grown so used to that man somehow. And I'm nobody's sugar baby now, 'cause I'm lonesome. I got the lovesick
With this ring, I promise I'll always love you, always love you. With this ring, I promise I'll always love you, always love you. They used to call me the wanderer who never wanted to settle down, yeah. But I'll tell you, baby, I want to know more. Got to stay around, 'cause with this ring, I promise I'll always love you, always love you. With this ring, I promise I'll always love you, always love you. Got nothing but this old heart of mine. Baby, please believe in me. Girl, you know, sweetheart, I always try to keep you satisfied, 'cause with this ring, I promise I'll always love you, always love you. With this ring, I promise I'll always love you, always love you. With this ring, I promise I'll always, always love you. With this ring, I promise I'll always love you, always love you. Baby, I never thought so much love could fit in a little band. soul. But I'm telling you, darling, I feel it in my heart, got it in my soul. With this ring, I promise I'll always love you. With this ring, I promise I'll always love you, always love you.
If a picture paints 1,000 words, then why can't I paint you? The words will never show the you I've come to know. If a face could launch 1,000 ships, then where am I to go? There's no one home but you. You're all that's left me to. And when my love for life is running dry, you come and pour yourself on me. If a man could be two places at one time, I'd be with you tomorrow and today, beside you all the way. If the world should stop revolving, spinning slowly down to die, I'd spin the end with you. And when the world was through, then one by one the stars would all go out,
your local weather at 5 past the hour here on WCAB.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The president leaves Washington today ahead of the G7 meeting in France. ABC's Karen Travers with more from the White House.
The global economy, which has seen a slowdown in growth, will be a top agenda item for Mr. Trump and the leaders of France, Canada, Germany, the UK, Italy, and Japan. In addition to the official summit events, President Trump will hold a series of one-on-one meetings, including his first sit-down with new British Prime Minister Boris Johnson.
European leaders are also backing French President Emmanuel Macron's call to put the Amazon wildfires on the agenda. Fed Chair Jerome Powell under pressure from the president for more interest rate cuts. He'll speak in a couple of hours at a meeting in Wyoming. More threats of violence and more arrests in the wake of this month's shootings in Dayton and El Paso. Details from ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
A Florida high schooler is in custody after authorities received a tip about a threat he allegedly posted on a social media app. According to police, the boy posted he wanted to shoot up his school. According to the police report, the boy wrote, "This is a genuine feeling. I want people to suffer."
A Florida 12-year-old is also facing charges after writing about shooting up a school on Snapchat. Several people are hurt after a light rail train derailed in Sacramento. ABC's Adrienne Bankert is on the scene.
We're told by Sacramento Regional Transit that this happened when a passenger train collided with a maintenance train on the tracks. We do know that 27 people were injured. 13 were transported to local trauma centers here. Sacramento fire crews were able to rush on board and to assist those who needed medical attention. We know that people described being jolted around on the train. One person's leg was split open when they were thrown.
Around the California community of Bella Vista, about 4,000 people have been evacuated ahead of a wildfire. The hacker accused of stealing information on 100 million people from Capital One is due in court today. For a detention hearing, prosecutors want Paige Thompson held until her trial. They call her a serious flight risk. You're listening to ABC News.
Here's a special message for those of you who owe the IRS at least $10,000 or more in back taxes. The IRS has special programs in place that could eliminate or reduce your tax debt by thousands of dollars. With a call to National Tax Helpline, you can stop the wage garnishments, levies, and tax liens now. Once you've qualified and enrolled, the IRS will stop all the collection activities against you. These unique programs have been allocated to help the economy and significantly reduce or eliminate your tax burden. The IRS is currently accepting reduced settlements and other favorable programs. You may qualify for substantial savings, so get the help you need. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more, call now for free information and to see if you qualify. Take down the number now for the Tax Helpline, 800-805-1055. That's 800-805-1055 for free information. 800-805-1055. That's 800-805-1055.
A North Carolina couple is demanding answers from Alaska Airlines after their teenage daughter's recent trip across the country.
Douglas and Maria Davila paid a $75 unaccompanied minor fee to ensure that their 13-year-old daughter would be escorted by an airline employee as she traveled from Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina to Spokane, Washington. Hours after putting the girl on the plane, Douglas got a call from his daughter.
I'm by myself in San Francisco.
During that scheduled layover, Alaska Airlines insists the girl was being supervised, but has apologized and refunded the $75. The Davilas want the entire airfare back. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
A Beverly Hills real estate agent is one of two people now accused of robbing the homes of celebrities. Police say they took advantage of open houses to loot the homes of several stars, including singers Usher and Adam Lambert. And a whole new kind of porch pirate is hitting Pennsylvania. ABC's Chuck Sievertson has a story.
Arriving home in Thornhurst Township, Pennsylvania, near Scranton, 18-year-old Aiden Newman and his girlfriend.
She looks over and she's like, oh, there's a bear. So I look over, there's a, probably 2 to 3 year old cub standing right there just looking at us.
The bear spotted a box about as big as the animal delivered by Chewy of dog food and treats in the front porch.
Grabbed onto it and pulled it off the porch and started just munching on it right there at the tree line.
Chewy's replacing that box for free.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was cute, too.
Newman says they'll now take in deliveries a little faster, though. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
This is ABC News.
There's nothing like meeting face-to-face, and there's nothing like Zoom to make that happen. Zoom lets you connect and do business across town or around the world. Zoom ties together all of your communication needs into one easy platform for video conferencing, phone calls, group chat, webinars, and your conference rooms. Connect easily from anywhere, your mobile phone, your laptop, or conference room. Zoom is how business gets done. Get your free account at Zoom.com today. Meet happy with Zoom.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
All aboard! Pull into Jesse James Railroad Express, Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton for the most delicious burgers, clubs, hot dogs, fresh salads, chicken, tuna plates, and so much more. All orders are prepared fresh daily. Pick up a cup of coffee, hand-dipped ice cream cone, milkshake, or a fresh donut. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 to 4, now Wednesdays only, 7 to 11. Closed on Sunday. Voted best hot dogs and hamburgers in Rutherford County 2 years in a row. Enjoy a great meal today only at Jesse James Railroad Express. Call them up, 447-4644.
Grab the umbrellas and just hang on to them as we head into the weekend. We'll have partly cloudy skies today. Showers and thunderstorms developing this afternoon and this evening. Some of them could be severe. The biggest threat will be some damaging winds. Highs today in the mid to upper 80s. Scattered showers and storms likely to continue overnight tonight with lows in the upper 60s. And showers on and off on Saturday. And it's cooler with high temperatures staying in the low to mid 70s. I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Thanks very much, Amy. It's 70 degrees right now. Cloudy skies. Been getting a little light misty rain here in the foothills. Leading Information Center, WCAB. Other folks have been reporting rain across the Rutherford County area right now. 70. We're expecting about a 70% chance of rain today, about 50% chance tonight with, you know how that works out, those spotted showers. It comes and goes, and some sections get it and some sections don't. But we'll ride out this storm one more time this weekend. Congratulations to Julie Robbins. Julie won the Daylight Donuts this morning. She works at H&R Block in Forest City. So, Julie, congratulations, happy birthday, and enjoy those donuts. We'll have that certificate right here for you. 6 minutes after 8 o'clock, Mr. Friday Night is upcoming right here on the radio live right after this.
Hi, this is John Higgins of Smith's Drugs in Forest City. I wanted to take a moment and thank those who supported our 2019 Meet Me at the Fountain 5K. It was a privilege to raise funds with the help of all our sponsors and race entrants for the Multiple Myeloma Research Foundation and 2 special local charities here in Rutherford County. We had over 150 participants in the 5K, and we have posted the results on our website at smithsdrugsfc.com. We couldn't have done it without you. I also want to thank our devoted employees, all our volunteers, the Forest City Police Department, and the town of Forest City for their contributions in making our event fun, safe, and successful. We are planning for another 5K next year, and we hope to see you at the 2020 Meet Me at the Fountain 5K. Thank you from all of us here at Smith's Drugs of Forest City.
Thank you very much, John. It's 8 minutes now past 8 o'clock. Let's turn our attention to Friday night high school football. And Mr. Friday Night is on the radio with me right now, starting as Jay. Is this the 25th year coming up?
You're trying to age me, Jim. That's not fair. This is season number 24 coming up.
24, okay. 24.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll accept that fact. How you doing this morning?
Doing pretty good. Had a heck of a storm last night, though. Well,
yeah. Did you lose power?
Yeah, I lost power a little bit. Got knocked out of bed about 2 o'clock this morning. A lot of thunder, a lot of lightning with the storm that came through early this morning.
That thunder just seemed like it just kept rolling over the top of the house for a period of time, about an hour there for us.
Yeah, and it seems super loud last night. Of course, at night it always sounds that way anyway, but a really intense little storm last night, no doubt.
Well, it's, believe it or not, football season again, and I'm always happy to have you on the radio on Friday mornings to give us an overview of what's to be expected this year.
Well, we get the regular season kicked off tonight, weather permitting. I know that there's a really good chance of thunderstorms again tonight, and of course, lightning and high school football do not get along very well, so maybe we'll get lucky this evening. Catch a break. All of our games tonight with 7:30 kickoffs. 2 of our local teams get to open up at home tonight, one of those being out at Avondale, where the Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy Griffins will try to come back from last year's undefeated regular season. They open up the season at home tonight, hosting a charter school from Charlotte, Commonwealth. First time these two teams have ever met each other on the gridiron. And, of course, legendary coach Jerry Cash, now entering his 8th season at TJ, 337 career wins for Coach. He is now 67-23 at TJ. Other local game tonight is our featured game of the week. We'll take to the air at 6:45 with the countdown to kickoff. Kickoff, as I mentioned earlier, all of our games, 7:30 this year. We will be in Rutherford, Dallas, RS Central Hilltoppers, opening up their season against their rivals, the McDowell Titans. Last year, McDowell came away with a 15-point win, so the Hilltoppers certainly looking for a little bit of revenge from last year. And both of these teams actually looking to rebound from a somewhat disappointing season last year. Hilltoppers, of course, finished up the year with only a couple of wins, of course, did not make the playoffs. And McDowell, well, they only picked up a couple of more than the Hilltoppers, ended up last year 4-8. They did make it into the 4A playoffs last year, but they got beat rather handily in the first round by Mooresville. If I remember right, it was like 51-10. So both of these teams, McDowell being the much larger 4A school, but it's always been a good battle, good rivalry, and actually over the last, say, 10, 15 years even, Hilltoppers do have the overall advantage in this series. Now, I have two other teams who will start tonight on the road. Chase Trojans, saw them a couple of times in the preseason. They are looking much improved this year. Looking forward to seeing what happens for real when they kick off tonight in Bessemer City. Chase last year finished up 4-7, 2-3 in the conference. They did not make the playoffs last year. Bessemer City last year finished up 7-6. They made it to the second round of the 1AA playoffs, but were defeated by East Surrey, losing that game by like 40 points. Last year, Chase defeated Bessemer City 38-7. Trojans, under Coach Radford, try to make it 2 in a row tonight at Bessemer City. East Rutherford Cavaliers, another team we've got to keep our eyes on this season. I like the offense that they're running now out of East Rutherford. It is wide open, and wow, they don't have a lot of depth on their team, but they certainly have a lot of talented athletes. They travel tonight up to West Henderson to face the Falcons. Been a number of years since these two teams have played. In fact, you have to go back to 2010. So it's been 9 years ago since the Cavaliers have met the Falcons. Back when they played a couple of games, 2009, 2010, East Rutherford won both of those matchups. But this is supposed to be a pretty good West Henderson team tonight. Now, they did not qualify for playoffs last season. The Falcons returned quite a few players from last year's team. Cavaliers, last year, of course, a great season, ended up 10-3. They were 3-2 in the conference, made it into the second round of the 2A playoffs before they were upended by Reedsville 41-6. So, two local games tonight on tap. Charlotte Commonwealth at TJ and McDowell at RS Central. That'll be our feature game of the week. And then two teams opening tonight on the road. Chase at Bessemer City. East Rutherford travels to West Henderson.
And your faithful companion, Cliff Palmera, will be right by your side tonight as well, I'm assuming?
Yes, Cliff is back for another season. In fact, we talked last night Looking forward to it. Optimistic about all four of our teams going into the season. It's high school football, so you never know until you actually get the season started. But at least what we are seeing in the preseason, we're feeling pretty good about our teams this year, and I think we've got several good teams here in the county.
Sounds good. We'll be excited about hearing about that each week, and we look forward to the game tonight. And, of course, it'll be on 100.9 FM, 590 AM. We'll be streaming it on www.wcab59.com. And there's another method where we stream that signal. Tell us about that one.
You lost me there, Jim.
I thought don't you do a Facebook?
Oh, we do have presence on both Facebook and Twitter. Yeah. Probably a good thing you reminded me of that. Yeah, you can follow WCAB Football on both Facebook and on Twitter.
Good deal. All right, well, a lot of action tonight, Jay. Thanks so much for being with us this morning, and we look forward to hearing you tonight.
Looking forward to it, Jim. It should be another exciting year.
Thanks, Jay. Jay Combs reporting in this morning, Mr. Friday night. It's 16 minutes now past 8 o'clock. You know, breast cancer is the second most common kind of cancer in women. About 1 in 8 women born today in the United States will get breast cancer at some point. Many women can survive breast cancer if it's found and treated early. A mammogram can help find breast cancer early when it's easiest to treat. If an abnormality is detected on your screening mammogram, a variety of diagnostic procedures are available to determine if your spot or lump is cancerous. Image-guided biopsies, ultrasounds, and surgical biopsies can be performed by board-certified surgeons from Rutherford Surgical Associations on an outpatient basis. So take the first step in breast health and visit the Mammography Place at Rutherford Regional Health System. The Mammography Place is here to help with the caring staff and the most modern digital technology. You can schedule your own mammogram by calling 828-286-5380.
Shop Jay's Discount Grocery for your grocery needs and save big money. Incredible savings on everything in the store. Famous name brands arriving daily at a fraction of the cost. Fresh fruits and vegetables on Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays. Jay's has delicious steaks, pork chops, roast, cut fresh daily. Open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 7, Friday and Saturday, 8 to 8, closed on Sundays. EBT and debit cards are welcome. And don't forget to check out Jay's on Facebook for daily specials. Located at 671 Oak Street in Forest City behind the Hospice Resale Shop. Call 828-382-0457. Shop Jay's and walk out with a pocket full of savings.
Do you need some extra money in your pocket? Try Insurance Service Associates, your local independent agent. We can shop your auto and home insurance with several companies to get you better coverage and the best rate. Insurance Service Associates at 127 East Trade Street in Forest City for auto, home, or commercial insurance. More choices, better coverage, best rate. That's Insurance Service Associates, 245-5301.
You know, more and more companies are needing truck drivers, and it's the ideal time to get in that business right now. The salaries are really good, and you're needed. Earn your Class A CDL and start a rewarding career as a professional truck driver. Well, Isothermal Community College is going to help you with that. They're offering a professional truck driving training class starting September the 18th through November 21st. The class meets Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. each day. There are some payment plans to help with tuition as well. And everybody don't do this, but some companies, once they hire you right out of that class, right out of that school, sometimes they will reimburse you for that tuition. Check all of that. There's a mandatory orientation session on August 28th at the Rutherford Learning Center. That's at 134 Maple Street, Rutherfordton, starting at 10 o'clock. I know you might have further questions about this, so call Dee Sperlin at 828-395-1416. That's 395-1416, and that nice lady will give you more information. Take advantage of this real opportunity right now. This class doesn't come around often, so it's here now. So jump in there and take advantage of that right now. Deputy Mitchell was with us earlier this morning, gave us the report on the Sheriff's Department, and we will have that in just a moment. McDowell County EMS says one person was taken to the hospital after they were struck by lightning in Marion. It happened at the Barbecue Hut, North Main Street in Marion, about 2:15 Thursday afternoon. So the lightning was pretty treacherous around all over western North Carolina. and a lot of power outages up in the Asheville area, a lot of power outages right here as well. So please be aware of that. When the lightning does come up, it is difficult to stay away from it. Here is Deputy Mitchell now with that sheriff's report.
Past 24 hours, sheriff's officers responded to 171 calls, processed 7 arrests in the jail, and currently have 172 incarcerated at the county jail. As far as arrest reports go, a Jeremy Rippey of Forest City was arrested for possession of burglary tools, breaking and entering, and larceny after breaking and entering. Ronald Cogdell of Ellenboro was arrested for failure to appear on the misdemeanor. Incident reports, we have Jeff Dale of Rutherford reported a felony larceny. Bobby Burgess of Ellenboro reported a felony larceny. Tommy Richards of Ellenboro reported a misdemeanor larceny. Mitch McWillen of Lake Lure reported a misdemeanor larceny. Joshua Williams of Ellenboro reported a larceny of motor vehicle, and that motor vehicle was recovered last night by county deputies. Amanda Willis of Mooresboro reported a misdemeanor larceny. Sarah Ledsam of Mooresboro reported a misdemeanor breaking and entering. Angela Merck of Forest City reported identity theft and obtaining property by false pretense. And Justin Smith of Mooresboro reported an assault inflicting serious injury. That's all I've got for this morning.
Thank you, Deputy Mitchell, for that report. It's 21 minutes after 8 o'clock. The sports update coming here in just a few moments. Well, the GOP in Raleigh, the legislature there in Raleigh, is trying to give taxpayers some money back. They have a great budget surplus, and they are trying to refund money back to the people in North Carolina. Senate Majority Leader Phil Berger is keeping good on his promise to refund North Carolina taxpayers from the state's nearly $900 million budget surplus. Berger and House Speaker Tim Moore announced Wednesday that GOP lawmakers will be filing the Taxpayer Refund Act, a bill that seeks to send money back to taxpayers from that surplus. Berger said tax revenues don't belong to the government. They belong to the people who earn the money to begin with. And that's what they're saying there in Raleigh. Now, Democratic leaders have criticized that plan, saying it is a way to avoid compromising over the budget, which remains stalled after Governor Roy Cooper's veto. If the bill becomes law, individual taxpayers could expect to receive a rebate check of up to $125, and couples will receive a maximum of $250. Now, what's wrong with that? If the money's there, why not give it back to the people who put it in there? Well, the governor is not in favor of that much. More than 5.1 million North Carolinians could benefit from that rebate plan, 90% of whom would receive the maximum, according to Berger's office. If approved, the Department of Revenue will be required to mail the first rounds of checks in time for the holidays. For taxpayers who filed before August 1st, checks would be mailed by December 15th. For those who filed after that, but before October 1st, checks would be mailed by February the 1st, 2020. The bill was not filed as of late Wednesday afternoon, but they are trying to get that done down there. The surplus rebate measure will not affect the state's $24 billion budget proposal that remains in limbo. Democratic Minority Leader Darren Jackson said on Twitter Wednesday that the Taxpayer Refund Act is just another way for the GOP to skirt past negotiations over the budget. In other words, they're trying to give our money back to us, folks, and the governor and the Democrat legislature find some way to stall that proposition. Sports Update is coming up here on WCAB's Morning Wake Up Call, 100.9 FM, 590 AM.
CN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. The Carolina Panthers in Foxborough last night to take on the Patriots in Week 3 of the NFL exhibition schedule. It was ugly. Panthers losing 10-3, the offense producing little to nothing. Cam Newton left last night's game, hurt in the first quarter after he was sacked on a 3rd and 10 play.
Newton again pressured. Newton in trouble. Newton is sacked. Adam Butler.
Cam's night was over after that, treated for a foot problem. He was seen wearing a boot as he headed toward the team bus. Turns out it's just an ankle sprain. Head coach Ron Rivera and the staff hoping that's all it is.
This is one of those things that, everybody was geared up for this one, and again, it was an opportunity to get on play, and it can happen on game one in the regular season. So to sit here and say that, well, if you don't play these games, then you play on day one, he gets hurt in day one, then what do you do?
Again, it is just a sprain, but backup Kyle Allen says he's ready to lead the offense if he's needed.
I'm always prepared for that moment, and it's just like last year when I had to start against the Saints in the last game of the year. I'm an NFL quarterback. It's my job to be ready to go play on Sundays.
He didn't look too ready last night. Just 3 of 6 on the night for 16 yards in the 10-3 loss at Foxborough. The Panthers wrap the exhibition portion of the season next week at home against the Steelers. The Cubs continue to lead the NL Central by a half game over St. Louis following victories by both teams. The Cardinals pushed past Colorado 6-5. The Cubs in a 1-0 verdict over San Francisco. The Atlanta Braves earned a 3-2 comeback win over Miami to retain the 6-game lead over Washington atop the NL East. The National Storm passed Pittsburgh 7-1. Oakland topped the Yankees 5-3. The Bronx Bombers have now dropped 4 in a row, and they're watching their lead in the AL East shrink to 8 games over Tampa Bay. The Mets, they completed a 3-game sweep of Cleveland. They blanked the Tribe 2-0 in a game called because of rain in the bottom of the 8th. This is NCN Sports.
The annual Big Tailgate Tour, driven by Continental Tire, is on the road again.
Our Big Tailgate Tour kicks off with ECU at NC State on August 31st. Find our game day tents, prizes, and Continental Tire Toss from 9 to 11:30 a.m. at Backyard Bistro before the noon kickoff.
Pick up free koozies, t-shirts, and more from Sport Clips and Continental Tire. Remember to drive with care on your Continental tires and experience the ultimate MVP haircut at Sport Clips.
Tailgate with us, BigTailgateTour.com.
What democratic socialism is about is saying,
sorry, I just don't feel the burn. Socialized medicine price controls and cookie-cutter coverage would cripple what makes our Medicare drug coverage great.
I'm glad our senator voted to protect our coverage and keep America the leader in innovating cures for Alzheimer's and cancer.
Thank you, Senator Burr, for voting to stop socialist policies like Medicare price controls while protecting market forces in Medicare coverage. Learn more at freemarketmedicare.org. Paid for by Americans for Tax Reform.
It was an historic day at the Little League World Series.
Cool-Hand Luke lives up to his nickname. Marshall Luke tossed a no-hitter to lead Louisiana to a 10-0 victory over Virginia and a berth in the U.S. Championship game at the Little League World Series. Luke's dad, Fabian, isn't surprised by his son's effort.
He does good when he's playing ball. He loves the game. He does well every time he's on that mound.
The boys from River Ridge, Louisiana will take on Hawaii for the U.S. title on Saturday. Tom Spicer for CBS News, South Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Brooks Koepka, part of a 3-way tie for the lead in the FedEx Cup playoff heading into the second round of the PGA Tour Championship at the East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta. Koepka shot a 367. That leaves him at 10 under the starting strokes that were established before the tournament. He's tied with Xander Schauffele and Justin Thomas. Josh and Zach, NCN Sports.
Grab the umbrellas and just hang on to them as we head into the weekend. We'll have partly cloudy skies today. Showers and thunderstorms developing this afternoon and this evening. Some of them could be severe. The biggest threat will be some damaging winds. Highs today in the mid to upper 80s. Scattered showers and storms likely to continue overnight tonight with lows in the upper 60s. And showers on and off on Saturday. And it's cooler with high temperatures staying in the low to mid 70s. I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
We've had some reports of light mist over the neighborhood this morning, and nothing out here outside our studios right now, but we're expecting more rain later today, possibly overnight again. Right now it's cloudy, and it's 70 degrees. We're warming up to about 87 with a heat index around 92 today, and that's going to be hot weather for the next few days. You're listening to WCAB Rutherfordton, 100.9 FM, 590 AM, serving the foothills of the Carolinas. It's 8:30. Welcome to the Word of Faith Responds. This series of programs will address the issues concerning the negative news reports. This program is paid for by Word of Faith, and the views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the management and staff of WCAB. Now here is Word of Faith Responds.
Good morning. We're so glad you're with us. We've got Douglas with us again today. We were here Wednesday, and he was not finished. So we've got more to go over. And he's been sharing with us about temptation and tests and trials and how important it is for us to go through that. And one of the verses that I left with when Douglas was shared on Wednesday was the one he read in 1 Thessalonians 2:4, that God who tests our hearts, expecting them to be approved. And so we've been listening to Douglas as he's been sharing that and knowing that our hearts will be tested, our hearts will be proven, but God is expecting us to pass the test. That is God's whole desire, just like he did with Abraham, where God tested Abraham on the mountain with his son Isaac, and he passed the test, but God was expecting him to pass that test. And then the verse that was so strong to me this morning coming in was in Isaiah 55. It says, there's a verse, this is amazing. Listen to this. It says, in verse 6, it says, "Seek, inquire for, and require the Lord while he may be found, claiming him by necessity and by right. Call upon him while he is near." So that tells me while he may be found. You know, if our lifestyle is seeking God, like Douglas is sharing with us, if our lifestyle every day just knowing that God is proving our hearts, that there's a devil attacking, that there's all kinds of things that come to us every day, where our hearts are proven and tested and checked out. And if we're seeking God, then when the big thing happens, we're ready for it. While he can be found today, we're going to seek him. And then when the terrible report comes, or the attack of the devil comes at you, because of that lifestyle, you'll be ready. And that's what we want. And we're so grateful for what Douglas is sharing with us. We want to pass the test on that daily basis so that when the big trials come, we're ready. And it doesn't touch us. It doesn't move us. You know, we as a church have gone through so many things, but it's our lifestyle has prepared us for this day and this hour. And what we're going through in this day and hour is going to prepare us for tomorrow and the next thing and the next thing. Whatever God has, we want to make it. We want to endure to the end. So, Douglas, please continue with what you were sharing with us on Wednesday.
Thank you so much, Mark. I'm going to read that verse again, too. It's in 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4. It says, "God who tests our hearts, expecting them to be approved." God is expecting us to make it. I mean, he knows our frame. He knows everything about us, and he's expecting us to make it. We can make it. That's right. And that's the encouraging thing I want to try to get across here with this thing on temptation, because the devil is known as the tempter. When Jesus was led by the Holy Spirit, he went out into the wilderness where he was tempted, tested, and tried for 40 days and 40 nights. And he ate no food. And Luke, I believe it says that he was continually being tempted, tested, and tried. And I laid in bed last night actually and thought to myself, everything gets tested. They build a car, and what do? They put it on a track and they test it. They build things to withstand heat and weather, but they put it out there in the heat and the weather to see if it'll withstand the elements. Everything gets tested, including us, including you and me. We are going to be tested, and God wouldn't let the test come and he said if we couldn't handle it. And I want to repeat myself here in 1 Corinthians chapter 10. It says that no temptation or trial has come to us that is beyond human resistance. It's nothing more. It's not bigger than we can handle. It says, and that is not adjusted and adapted and belonging to human experience, and such as man can bear. We say, I can't take it. God says you can. He says there's nothing that's going to come into your life that if you get a hold of me that you cannot handle. Every test, we can handle it in God. He's got a way out. He's got an answer. That's encouraging to me because we think so many times that life is so big and situations are so big, and I just don't know what to do because we're looking to ourselves. Because we're looking to ourselves. We can't change anything, but God can change everything. It said, but God is faithful to his word and to his compassionate nature, and he can be trusted. When we go into a situation, well, let me just read on here. He can be trusted not to let us be tempted, tried, essayed, beyond our ability and strength and resistance and power to endure. We can make it. We can do it. God has made a way that through him we can make it. We can do it. He's expecting us to make it. He's got things for us to do. Then another thing I want to repeat maybe a little bit this morning, in 1 John chapter 2 and 15 and 16, it says that it gives us the three examples of the way the devil attacks human beings. And I want to go back then to Adam and Eve, and I want to look at Jesus' life, and it's more at our lives, how that works. But in 1 John 2, it says, in verse 15, it says, the lust of the flesh is craving for sensual gratification. Make me feel. We live in a society that says, make me feel good. Everything we do is based around a feeling, a look, something to make us feel good. Sensual gratification, a craving. You just gotta have it. That's what the lust of the flesh is. And then it goes on to say, the lust of the eyes. This is in the Amplified Bible, by the way. If you have an Amplified Bible, or you don't have one, it'd be great to get one, because a lot of times it gives really good, clear definitions of what the verses are saying. But this says right here, the lust of the flesh, or the lust of the eyes, greedy longings of the mind. Can't get enough. I gotta have it. I gotta have it. I got it. Greedy longings of the mind. If you had $10, you'd want $15. If you had $15, you want 20, then 30. You got to have more. You can't satisfy it. Greedy longings of the mind. And probably our biggest enemy to ourselves is our own mind, where we have not disciplined ourselves to take hold of our thoughts, to recognize when those thoughts come and do something about it. Greedy longings of the mind. The third way that the devil attacks is through the pride of life. And that verse describes it as the pride of life, assurance in one's own resources or in the stability of earthly things. Don't trust yourself. You might be a strong, healthy person today, but things can change just like that. Just like that. Don't trust in your own ability, your own strength, your own coordination, your own intellect, because it can be gone in a moment. And then it says, stability of earthly things. You cannot trust these earthly things. The stock market can fall this afternoon, even this morning. And then what do? Where's our trust? Where's our faith? What's our life locked into? Is it into Jesus? Or is it into the stability of earthly things? This world is tottering, it's shaking, and yet once more, he says in Hebrews, he will shake everything that can be shaken, and only what can't be shaken is going to remain. It says God tests our hearts, expecting us to be approved. God has confidence in you and in me that when he is moving in our life, that we'll take a hold of him and we can walk through everything. We go through situations, when we have a hold of Jesus, we come out stronger in the end. Stronger, more confident, more assurance, more trust, more faith, more strength, more life, more joy, more happiness when we take hold of Jesus. Now, I want you to turn, if you have your Bible, go ahead and just turn over to Genesis chapter 3. The first couple of chapters of Genesis, it's so amazing. Just go ahead and read them for yourself over and over again this afternoon. They're wonderful verses talking about the creation of everything. But we can go to chapter 3. And the first 6 verses here, and I want to see how the devil attacked Adam and Eve. And it says in verse 1, it says, now the serpent was more subtle and crafty than any living creature of the field which the Lord God had made. And he, Satan, said to the woman, can it really be that God has said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, we may eat of the fruit from the trees of the garden, except the fruit of the tree which is in the middle of the garden. God has said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest you die. Now, the story is already beginning to change a little bit, and that's the way it is. You go into a classroom, you tell one person a story, and they turn around and tell the story. By the time it gets to the end of the classroom, it's not even the same story at all. God said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest you die. But the serpent said to the woman, you shall not surely die, for God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing the difference between good and evil, blessing and calamity. Now listen to this very closely, verse 6. And the woman saw that the tree was good, suitable, pleasant for food, the lust of the flesh, and that it was delightful to look at, the lust of the eyes. A tree to be desired in order to make one wise, the pride of life. And she fell for every single temptation. We can't go by how our body feels. Your body will fool you sometimes. And you can't go by what you better guard your eyes. If there's one thing that we've learned in our church, is the power of the eyes. Don't look at everything that's before you. Guard your eyes, because through your eyes, the devil will get to your heart. I'll tell you a good story. My next door neighbor was an older lady in her 80s. When the terrorists flew those planes into the Trade Center, and she sat there on her couch watching that on the news. And when those buildings collapsed, she never went outside again. She was afraid because of what she saw in that television program and that news broadcast. She looked at it with her eyes, and it brought terror into her heart. And she didn't know Jesus well enough to know how to combat that, and it kept her in bondage for the rest of her life. A tree to be desired in order to make one wise, the pride of life. Don't trust in yourself. Don't trust in the world. Don't trust in anything except Jesus. He can be trusted. And the Bible says she took of its fruit and she ate. And then she gave some also to her husband, and he ate. And the eyes of both of them were open. And they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves apron-like girdles. And it's just like us to sew fig leaves together to cover up everything. It's amazing. And the Bible goes on to say that in the cool of the day, they heard the Lord coming in the garden, and they hid themselves. There was no fear before sin came. When Adam and Eve were separated from God, they became afraid. Sin came into their life, and it brought with it fear. And man has been fearful ever since. It's a good measuring rod for all of us. Fear is there because we've let sin in our lives. Jesus had no fear. He had no sin. He's made a way for us. If he says, be ye holy, for I am holy, like he says in 1 Peter, then we can be. Let's quit making excuses why we can't be, and let's start crying out to God, reaching out to him to find the strength and the answers so that we can become what he wants us to be, and quit making excuses why we can't be. Amen? I want to go on a little bit here and talk a little about when Jesus was tempted, because I read these verses years ago, and I thought to myself, when I read 1 John, I thought, let me see if that's the same way he did it with Jesus. Let me see if that's the same way he did it with Adam and Eve. So I went back, and we just saw it was the same pattern that he used on Adam and Eve. And now then, here we have Jesus. If you turn to Luke chapter 4, you can read along with me. It says, verse 4, it says, then the devil said to Jesus, if you are the Son of God. Now, Jesus had been out in the wilderness desert for 40 days and 40 nights again. He hadn't eaten anything. He was being tempted, tested, and tried by the devil. And when he came back out of that, he was hungry. And it says this. It says the devil, he said, if you are the Son of God, order this stone to turn into a loaf of bread. The lust of the flesh. There it is. But Jesus replied, it is written, man shall not live and be sustained by, that is, on bread alone, but by every word and expression of God. That's how we should be living. We should take our life, our strength, our hope, our faith, everything comes from the words that God speaks to us. Isn't that good news?
He passed the test right there.
He did. He passed the test right there. Aren't you glad? It says, then the devil took Jesus up on a high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the habitable world in a moment of time, in the twinkling of an eye. And he said to Jesus, to you, well, listen to this. To you I will give all this power and authority and their glory. That is, all their magnificence, excellence, preeminence, dignity, grace. For it has been turned over to me, and I give it to whomever I will. What a seducer. He's really trying to use those big words to pull Jesus in and get him. Therefore, if you will do homage and worship me just once, it shall all be yours. The lust of the eyes. Just once. Just once. Just once. Do homage and worship me. It'll all be yours. I got a text message the other day from a guy that was my closest friend when I was in the world. And whenever the band took a break and I didn't have anywhere to go, I'd always go to his house, and he always took care of me. And we didn't do right. We were bad. And then I gave my heart to Jesus, and I ended up leaving and town and went to Oklahoma, and that's where I met Sam and Jane, who, by the way, love me very much. They love everybody very much. Contrary to what the devil says, he's a liar. Don't believe a word he says. And in his text message that I received, it was my friend Bill. He said, his band was playing the night before, and he said, we always play this one song, and every time we play it, I always think of you. I'm thinking, really? And he said, and he made some other comments, and I texted him back and greeted him and everything. Well, then he texted me back again. He said, could you come up to Pennsylvania on August the 9th and play that one song on the drums and sing the bridge in that song? Just one song.
Just one time.
Just one song. And I'm sitting there reading this text message, and I'm thinking, I'm not believing what I'm hearing or what I'm reading. Just play one song on the drums and sing one bridge. I texted him back and I said, Bill, I said, music almost destroyed my life. I said, when I let Jesus into my heart, I walked away from that and have not turned around. And I said, I don't even listen to so-called Christian music because it's so bad. And I said, but Bill, you've always been a close friend, dear friend of mine. I love you very much. Nothing will ever separate us. My love for you remains the same. And he texted me back and he said, thank you. I love you too. I passed the test. I passed the test. No matter how it comes or where it leads. I mean, you know what I mean? The devil's after us. Okay? Now then it goes on to say,
it says, get behind me, Satan.
Yes, Jesus said to him, when he said just once, Jesus said to him, get behind me, Satan. It is written, you shall do homage to and worship the Lord your God, and him only shall you serve.
That's a perfect example of where the Bible says you hide the word of God in your heart that you might not sin against him. And Jesus had the word of God hidden in his heart. So when the tempter came, the word of the Lord that he had hidden in his heart, it was right there to stop the devil's attack.
That's exactly right. When it's hidden in your heart like that, when you need it, it'll automatically come out. God will automatically flow through you to resist that temptation.
That's right.
Then he took Jesus to Jerusalem, and he set him on a gable of the temple, and he said to him, if you are the Son of God, cast yourself down from here, for it is written, he will give his angels charge over you, and guard you, and watch over you closely and carefully. And on their hands they will bear you up, lest you strike your foot against a stone. The pride of life says I can do anything I want to do, anytime I want to. You know, it's like the boy whose daddy's the judge. Just because your dad's a judge doesn't give you the right you can do anything you want to do. Just because we live in the United States doesn't give us the right to do anything we want to do. We are still accountable to God in everything that we're doing. Jesus replied to him, the scripture says, you shall not test exceedingly the Lord your God. And when the devil had ended every temptation, when the devil had ended the complete cycle of temptation, he stood off from Jesus until a more opportune and favorable time. He'll wait till you've been working a little bit overtime and you haven't been getting enough sleep, and you know what I mean? He'll get you in a weak moment, and then he'll come back again. That's why the Bible says, I have some verses here, but watch and pray. Pray continually. Pray. We need to be people of prayer. We don't pray enough. They mock our church because we pray a lot. Well, we don't pray enough. We need to pray more. We just do. We just need to pray and be strengthened in our God. We're here. God's purpose for our lives is through your life out there this morning. You're listening to me out there. It's through your life this morning that God wants to flow through to show that he is alive and real and loving and caring and saving and delivering. Through your life. That's what he wants. He wants to use us to show people that he's alive. Isn't that wonderful?
It is wonderful.
Isn't that wonderful? The Bible goes on to say in verse 13 of that 4th chapter of Luke, it says, when the devil had ended the complete cycle of temptation, he temporarily left him, that is, he stood off from him until a more opportune and favorable time. In Matthew chapter 4, in verse 11, it says this then the devil departed from Jesus, and behold, angels came and ministered to him. That's always real precious to me. The angels came. I think it's in Luke.
When you pass the test.
Yeah, when you pass the test. In Mark chapter 1, and verse 13, it says this. It says, he stayed in the wilderness desert 40 days, being tempted all the while by Satan. And he was with the wild beasts, and the angels ministered to him continually. Is that the kind of life that we're living? Where the invisible supernatural realm has such a hold of us? The angels are ministering to us all the time. They did to Jesus. That's what the Bible has just told us. Let's move on a little bit. We've seen a little bit about now Adam and Eve and how the devil approached them, and Jesus' life, how he approached him, how the devil approached Jesus. I wrote down here the rest of humanity. That's us. But in Daniel chapter 10 is a remarkable verse here. Let me just turn to it real quick. Daniel chapter 10, and it says in verse 18 and 19, let's see here, it says, in verse 18 it says, then there touched me again one whose appearance was like that of a man, and he strengthened me. And he said, O man, greatly beloved, fear not. Peace be to you. Be strong. Yes, be strong. And when he had spoken to him, I was strengthened and said, let my Lord speak, for you have strengthened me. That came to me real strong, because when those angels ministered unto Jesus, I'm sure they strengthened him. Then in Psalm 138, this is another remarkable verse. Let me read this to you. Psalm 138, verse 3. It says this. This is great. It says, in the day when I called, you answered me, and strengthened me with strength, that is might and inflexibility to temptation in my inner self. When I cried out to the Lord, he strengthened me with strength and might, inflexibility to temptation. That's why we should want to look forward to prayer, look forward to praying in every situation that we're in, because God wants to strengthen us. The hardest word, maybe for a human being to say, is a two-letter word: no. No, I'm not going to do that. No, I don't feel led to do that. No, I'm not going there. Inflexibility. The word inflexibility means an unwillingness to change or compromise. Inflexibility. Unwilling to change or compromise. Inability to be bent. Stiffness. I mean, we are standing rigid against those temptations that are trying to come our way. The devil wants absolutely to destroy us. And God's made a way for us through his Son and through the blood of his cross that we can be strengthened and stand strong all the days of our life.
Jesus wants us to pass the test, doesn't he?
Right. Yes, he does.
Well, we can see Douglas could keep going on. He's got more to go, but that's all time we have for today. And we're just so grateful you could be with us. We hope this ministered to you and is strengthening you. And we meet every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8:30 to 9. So you can watch any of our previous programs on our website, which is wordoffaithfellowship.org. And again, we thank you, and we want to pass the test today.
From ABC News.
I'm Sherry Preston. A billionaire businessman and an icon in the conservative political world has died.